So the goal of this one is to work with hexagons. We want to make them tile without too much stretching and without any tiling or seams issues. There are several ways to do it. One that uses math, which is not very complicated, but needs a bit of study or analysis. And it's this one, X Tiles in Substance Designer, made by Rekoff, the Rekoff YouTube channel. Can only recommend it. It's very precise. It will help you understand why hexagons can't tile perfectly. So there's a workaround where you just compromise a little bit on their shape, but you can fit them all nicely with a good packing and absolutely no tiling issues. So that's a pretty good one. And the other way is to just do what we're gonna do, is not to take care about math too much, but take care of the tiling problem we're gonna face. So this is what I did. It's a relatively simple function, but we'll cover it entirely a bit later. So the first thing is to just choose polygon 1, the node polygon 1, to get the hexagon, and to send it through a tile generator. A tile generator is pretty cool because you have the interstices options and not interslice. So I heard someone say that once. So it's interstice. And so yeah, you can have your hexagons like that. Now I'm playing with the scale. And we still have a difference in the gaps. You can try a little bit more with the interstices. So the thing to do is just to go check the values that I had on my first try and just copy and paste them. I'm just gonna put them down. At 0.27, 1.55. Now we got something that looks okay, maybe a little bit stretched vertically. I don't know, we can play with also the X and Y amount. So here on the y-axis, we can specify how many hexagons we'll have. As we can see, if we have 10 hexagons on the x-axis, if we have 11 on the y, it looks pretty good. So we could multiply the x value by 1.1. We could always get a good ratio. If I just tried with 12 and it's a little bit squashed. So yeah, let's try this rule to multiply the x amount by 1.1. But we have another issue, is when we get an odd number as for the y amount, we have a tiling problem, as you can see. We need an even number. That's the key. We need to figure out a way to drive the y amount based on the x value. So we could create a function to do that, to allow us to change x as we want, and then to dynamically drive the y value, and also to make sure that the y always is an even number. So that way we wouldn't have any tiling problem like here. So that is the plan. I'm gonna delete those two, and I'm just gonna show you what I did for x and y. If you don't know how to create a function, or let's say an exposed parameter, here's the way. Just click here. You can leave by default, and then If you click on Edit Function Graph, you can now play with the nodes and do some maths and operations. So let me show you what I did for X. So it's just the output variable. We don't need anything else. And for Y, there's more operations, but that's still quite easy to understand. So as I said, I just multiply the X amount by 1.1. That gives us, as a result, our Y value. Then we need to take care of the odd number thing. What I can do is, just to make things a little bit more readable, to create a frame here, just write Y as an even number, for example. Alright. So what I did simply is just to divide our Y value by 2, then to round it up or down with the ceil or floor functions, and then multiply it by 2 again. So here on this on the Substance forum, I found exactly that. Someone needed to have the X amount for his bricks as an even number and never an odd one. So I chose this one, this method here. So yeah, you just divide by 2, round your number, and then multiply by 2 again. You also can use the modulo technique if you want to, and just check if the remainder of the operation is 0. If it is 0, that means that Y is an even number. So let me show this one in the 3D view. And now if I change the X amount, everything works well and the Y value is updated. Of course, for low value, below 5, it doesn't work too good, but above 5, it works pretty well. We don't see the Y value updated on the right side, but as we can see in the 3D view and the 2D view, it works. So no tiling issues, and also we keep a pretty good shape. We don't compromise too much on the shape. So let me show you again the function. So the shape in the end is pretty good, but it is an approximation of the real of a real hexagon. The more correct method that we've seen in the video that I showed is a bit more precise, but it is also an approximation. In this case, I thought that going into a function could be fun and helpful or useful. It's not too complicated. You know, I'm not very technical, I'm not very strong on mathematics, but in this case, it wasn't too difficult to research and execute and make it work. So thank you very much for watching, and see you soon for another one. Bye bye.